If you've been waiting for mid-range 4K pen display tablet that doesn't break the bank, then the Gaomon PD1900 might be exactly what you're looking for. Let's see what we have inside the box. We have the tablet itself that has anti-glare coating on it. We have power cable, HDMI to HDMI, USB type A to USB type C, and power brick. Also we have instruction with some spare nibs and probably cleaning cloth and the glove, which is really important. Also we have a pen with a stand. The tablet comes with adjustable stand, so you can easily choose your preferred angle for drawing, and it goes to almost 90 degrees. A quick disclaimer, Gaomon did send me this tablet for test and review, but they didn't pay me for this, so anything that I say in this review is based on my own testing and opinion. First, you need to download the drivers from Gaomon website, and then you will have this screen right here where you can choose, in case you have multiple monitors like I have, which monitor you will control using the tablet. I choose this one. Also at the bottom here you can choose either to use the full portion of the tablet or just to resize and use a portion that you want. Also here you can choose either to use this orientation or 90 degrees orientation if you want to rotate the tablet, or 180 or 270, so 0 is my preference. Then you can choose things about your pen. You can customize whatever you want to do with these buttons, and also you can choose the pen pressure sensitivity here in the presets, or you can just move and choose your own, so whatever you want. And here you can test it, what you chosen. So for example, this one, I can see that this is really soft, and if I go to really hard, I can see that I need to press really hard to get some decent pressure here. The build quality is pretty decent. It's made out of the plastic and it has some rubber feed that prevents slipping, which is really cool addition. Also, the plastic doesn't feel cheap at all, but it also doesn't feel like a high premium quality plastic. So it's some mid-range quality there, which is pretty decent for the price. The price is around $649 currently on their website, and I will leave the link down there in the description so you can check it out. Also at the top of the tablet we have a pen holder, which is really nice addition. It's handy and convenient just to leave the pen right here and take it on when you want to draw something. Also you can leave the pen on the stand in 2 different positions, so you can choose whatever you want. Regarding the pen stand, this is probably the cheapest and the lowest quality item here. But don't worry, no pen stand, no problem. Joke aside, the issue with the pen stand is that when you open it, you have spare nibs inside and this nib removal, but it's so unintuitive to close it. It's a little bit harder to close it, as you can see. Okay, finally. The screen has a G Pro glass with anti-glare and anti-sparkle properties, which helps you reduce the reflections and also eye strains. Plus, its matte and paper-like textures makes you feel like you're almost drawing on a paper surface. The PD1900 features an 18.4-inch screen with 3840 by 2160 resolution running at 60 Hz with 16:9 aspect ratio, making it Gaomon's very first mid-size 4K pen display. There are 2 ways how you can connect your tablet with your computer. First way is to use HDMI to HDMI cable together with USB type A to USB type C, like I'm doing right now. And the second way is to use just USB type C to USB type C cable, so 1 cable, but in both cases you need to use power brick. And USB type C to USB type C cable is unfortunately not included in the package. The tablet can work with various different applications like Photoshop, Illustrator, Cinema 4D, CAD, Blender, and so on and so forth. I tested with Blender and it works really nicely, especially with sculpting. Also, it supports Windows, Mac, Android, and Linux operating systems. The display itself is color accurate straight out of the box. It has 99% of sRGB, 96% of Adobe RGB, and 98% of DCI P3. By the way, if you press and hold the power on button on the top right corner of the tablet, you will get this menu right here. By default, the color space is set to Adobe RGB, and you can see the colors are more punchy and saturated and more contrasty. So if you see that, just switch it to sRGB, and also you can use DCI P3 and native and so on and so forth. And also here you have other different settings like change the color temperature, change the input type, USB Type-C or HDMI, and also to change the brightness and contrast. The pen quality is pretty nice. It has 2 buttons with some cool texture over the top, and you can program these buttons to do whatever you want. The screen is fully laminated and there is almost zero gap between the pen tip and the cursor. Okay, let's test the pen and the strokes. By the way, pen has a 16K levels of pressure sensitivity, which is really nice. So you have really nice control of the strokes and the pressure, as you can see right here. And it supports up to 60 degrees of tilt. So thick and thin lines works really good. Let's test these fast lines. Pretty decent, I like it. Okay, now let's test the opacity pressure. So the harder we press, the more opaque stroke will be, less transparent. This is really nice. So with this you have really nice control in dodging and burning. And I really like it. Okay, let's test the wobbling of the lines. If I use a ruler and slowly move the pen across the display. Let's see. Not bad at all, actually. I pretty much like this, especially for this price range. The G Pro pen has only 2 grams of activation force, which means that even the lightest pen press can be detected. The Gaomon Pro 19 with its current price is a strong competitor to Huion Canvas Pro 19 and the XP Pen Artist Pro 19. For digital artists who are looking for 4K display, new responsive G Pen Pro, solid build quality, a great value for the money, this is very compelling option. Now let me tell you some pros and cons. Pros are 4K display, 60K pressure pen, anti-glare screen and built-in adjustable stand. Some cons: plastic back panel compared to Huion that has aluminum back panel, and no express keys, and also maybe just 2 instead of 3 buttons on the pen. Overall, a strong contender in a mid-range pen display market. Let me know down there in the comments what tablet are you currently using. Until the next time, bye bye.